Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to 3D Gaming. Well, 3D gaming, that's what I'm talking about today. Some of you are probably here thinking, do I really care about 3D gaming? What's he going to say about it? Well, let's start with a few different things that I'm going to talk about. It's not going to be a very long one, but I wanted to just have a quick word because I like it and I'm going to explain why. Now, first of all, this is not the type of 3D I'm talking about. The red-green or red-blue sort of glasses that we're used to from many, many years ago, this isn't the sort of 3D that we have today. A lot of people, especially maybe older people, you say 3D to them and they go, oh, we used to have that back in the whatever, and yeah, it never took off then. That was a whole different technology. However, what I will say is that if you can get your hands on a pair of these, you can still find the odd game that uses it. For example, the I think it's Trackmania Nations, there's an option in there to turn 3D on. If you buy some of these glasses, I think you can get them off the internet probably £1.50, £2 including postage maybe. You can get a cheap pair, like I did here. They don't cost a lot at all, and you can go into the settings on a game like that and you can change it, and you can use any monitor, any gaming monitor, and it'll be 3D. It's not the kind of new modern 3D, but it's a 3D experience and it's fun, and for, come on, £2? Give it a try maybe. And also, if I remember correctly, yeah, Minecraft, the big M, has the same feature somewhere in its settings, or at least it did last time I checked. If you want, I'll put where you can find the settings in the description. I'll put them down there. And if you get some of these, you can play Minecraft in 3D on your computer or a laptop. And I think that's fantastic. So even though this is not the new, modern, awesome kind of 3D, it's incredibly cheap. You don't need new monitors, you don't need special software, you don't need an extra brilliant new graphics card. You just need to buy these and jobs are good. Just like put into a search engine red, green, 3D glasses and you'll probably find something very easily. That to one side, this is probably the sort of glasses that you're used to if you've gone to the cinema. They are the standard, very flat, plain looking glasses. I believe they're polarized, and these ones are extremely dusty because, of course, we always forget to take them to the cinema when we go, and we always have to get some more. I enjoy watching 3D films at the cinema, especially good 3D films. There's good 3D films and there's bad 3D films. There's films that don't really use the 3D, and they're like, oh, why are you in 3D? You're not using it to its best. And then there's other films on the other end of the spectrum, and they're just like constantly pushing 3D in your face. They're putting things in the film just to show off 3D, and to be honest, I don't like either. I like a nice happy medium, somebody that knows that the producing it is going to be in 3D. They put things in there that kind of works nice. You've got nice camera movements, things coming forward and backwards, bending over and stuff like that. Film like Inception, really good film, should have been in 3D in my opinion. Plenty of things floating around, moving, dropping, falling. That would be good, but nothing that was deliberately done to make it in your face. That is the kind that you know if you go to the cinema. And this is the active kind that you get if you buy a 3D monitor. Now, I'm going to put it on. There is a little battery in here, and you press a button and it syncs up with your monitor on your screen, which shows you two images very, very quickly, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And one blanks up, then the other one blanks up on the eyes like this. And so one eye sees one image, the other eye sees the other image. And because the two eyes are seeing two different images, it brings the images together, and that creates the 3D effect. I didn't really want to give you a lesson in 3D, but I wanted to quickly talk about the different types so you know the advantages. Obviously, stupidly cheap, not for home use really, Some new tellies use that. Most TVs and monitors that you can buy use this. So, gaming on 3D. Obviously, I've done it because I have it. Games that have 3D built in are better than games that don't have it automatically built in. For example, I played Battlefield 3 in 3D and it was good. To me, it should have had a bit more depth. I turned the depth right up and it just didn't feel as deep as some of the other things. However, it was good, and I think it did add to the experience. Do you feel stupid wearing these glasses? Well, to be honest, you're sat in your study or in your bedroom in front of your computer on your own. Who's going to be watching you? Okay, you're watching me now. This is a little bit of an exception, but there's no need. Why are people worried about looking stupid? It's like, I don't understand it. Somebody says something just to put something down, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, they're brilliant. Now, the glasses themselves, they're not cheap. I had to buy a replacement pair because I kind of maybe sat on the other ones and they got a crack in, and all the liquid crystal, you know how if you smash the front of a calculator, don't go around smashing calculators, that's bad. Maths isn't that evil. But if you accidentally break one, it gets the same problem on here, same as with the old style mobile phones as well. Well, that is these like I said, they're not cheap, but you do get one with nearly all 3D monitors. Now, you don't just need a 3D monitor, you need a computer that can cope with it as well. So you're gonna have to do a little bit of research, see if the graphics card you've got is capable of doing 3D. Most of the modern ones are. In the past, I would guess in the past 3 years, probably are able to do it. And then make sure that your monitor that you're going to buy is 3D compatible as well. It's going to take some research. I'm not going to sit here and go through all the different combinations because there's too many. Okay, but it is a good experience. I think it adds to the experience. But do I use it all the time? No. 2 reasons why not. Firstly, not all games are compatible with it. There's very few games that actually have the option to just enable 3D, and it makes it all wonderful. However, nearly every single monitor I've seen that has a 3D enabled can upscale from 2D to 3D, like many of the 3D TVs. So you can play games that aren't even meant to be in 3D. I've popped these little babies on and I've logged into EVE Online, and oh my, I mean, if you like that sort of thing, we're not going to debate whether EVE Online is a good game or not, but if you really like EVE Online and you're playing it in 3D and all of a sudden those stars have depth, it doesn't just look like a bubble of a canvas around your ship. Your ship has depth in a 3D environment. Missiles and stuff and explosions actually happen in depth, and it's one of the games I think it works really well. When there's no movement, it can get a little flat, but when you're constantly changing course, warping around, that's another thing as well. Going through jump gates, that looks quite good as well. So upscaling can be really good, and of course you can upscale anything, not just computer games. You could watch films on your computer and upscale them to 3D, and as long as they're not very flat films, for example, something like if you put a comedy show on, a stand-up comic who's just stood there on the stage, unless it's one of these ones that bounce around all the time, like Lee Evans or something, you're not going to see any 3D. Pointless. But if you're going to watch something, say you got the 2D version of Avatar, or say you're watching Inception, you can upscale it to 3D, and your monitor and the monitor will do the work and make it look fantastic. Now, I've shown people 3D films. I've sat 4 people down in a line, put the same glasses on them, shown them the same screen with the same video. One of them would quite happily go, wow, look at that, it's amazing, it's really 3D, it's got depth, it's got feel to it. One of the others might go, oh yeah, it's alright, it's alright. Another one might go, I can't really see the 3D. they're all using the same technology, they're all looking at the same thing. So the only thing I can think of is that we perceive 3D technology in different ways. So if you want to try 3D out, do that. Try it first. Go somewhere, maybe into somewhere that sells televisions, and see if you can find a place that will let you try 3D. One of the big superstores would probably be a good place. They very often have these sorts of things on show. Give it a try, see what you think first. In terms of money, if you're buying a new monitor anyway, I wouldn't go out and spend a shed load of money. I wouldn't go, wow, he said Eve was really good in 3D, I need to go get 3D, buy a new monitor, buy new cables, buy new graphics cards. It's going to cost you a lot of money, and you're probably going to be disappointed compared to how much money you spend. However, if your graphics card's compatible, and if your monitor, or if you're getting a new monitor anyway, and for example the 3D ones maybe only £30 more, maybe a little bit more than the one that you were going to get anyway, it's a nice upgrade. And to be honest, that little bit of difference in price, I would go for the extra 3D. So, should we all rave about it? Probably not. Is it nice? Yes, it is. Should everybody have it? Probably not. Do we need to kick it in and complain about it just because not everybody likes it? No. It has its place. It's good for some things and it's good for others. So, try it out in your stores. See what you think. To me, 3D gaming is an added extra. It's good fun. It really does add something to it. And don't let people put you off just because, we had it back then. It's different. Don't let people put you off because you look daft in the glasses. People look daft with doing various different things all the time. I think people jogging down the street with great big iPhones strapped to their arm looks daft. But, that's just people's perspective. Well, there you go. A little bit of perspective about what about 3D, whether you should or shouldn't, a little bit about the different types of 3D, and a little bit about gaming with 3D. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments and I'll try and answer them all. But for now, thank you and goodbye.